Hi there, a very warm greetings to you. I hope you and yours are doing great today. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the show today, and it promises to be informative and inspiring as well. This is Gospel Lounge on Signature TV. My name is Victor Chief Judge, and I welcome you to this very show today. For all the good things that God has done for us, we give Him all the praise and glory. He is faithful. It's not because we are too smart, it's not because of our other things. We live and enjoy all the good things of life, not because we are too smart or strong on our own. There is a supernatural force behind it, and this force is God. All we owe Him is appreciation, to worship and to praise Him in all we do. So let's just do a simple song in worship to Him. Oh yes, the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning, always new every morning. Great is your faithfulness, oh Lord. Great is your faithfulness. It's a simple song. We'll do it one more time. Oh, the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. Oh, they are new every morning, always new every morning. Great is your faithfulness, oh my God. Great is your faithfulness. One more time. They are new every morning, oh new every morning. Great is your faithfulness, mighty God. Great is your faithfulness. We give you all the praise and glory for all that you have done for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Words will fail us. If we write, it will not be enough. Even if we sing from now until forever, it won't be enough. All we have to say is thank you. Thank you. We are so glad. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. All right, friends, let's just go to the next segment, which is reflection. You see, the Word of God says in the book of Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12, the Amplified Version, it says, for the Word of God that God speaks is alive and full of power, making it active, operative, energetic, and is effective. It is sharper than any two-edged sword, penetrating to the dividing lines of breath of life, the soul, and the immortal, the spirit, and of the joints and marrows of all the deepest parts of the nation. You know, it exposes a lot of things. So, as we go into this very segment of reflection, I want you to open up your heart and receive God's word, which is able to make you better, is going to give you great ideas. Just open up your heart and receive what God is going to give us in this segment, and I'll be right back.
Brothers and sisters, our reflection today is based on the Gospel of St. Mark, chapter 9, verse 30 to 37. And in that passage, Jesus was teaching his disciples that the Son of Man was to die in the hands of people. He will be crucified, but that on the third day he will rise again. Now, his disciples who were listening to him had a totally different mind from what Jesus was saying. They were actually thinking that Jesus was talking to them about a worldly kingdom. And so they understood him at the natural level. And so they were fighting among themselves. Fighting, who is going to be the first in this kingdom? Who is going to be the number one in this kingdom? And Jesus had to correct them and ask the question, which is the basis of our reflection. What are you fighting about? What are you arguing about? Placing a child before them, the Lord says, if you want to enter the kingdom of God, you'll be like a little child. Now, for us in Nigeria, this is a very important message. So the question is, what are we fighting about in Nigeria? If somebody were to ask you, what are people fighting about in Nigeria? What would be the answer? One of the rules of the early church is that when there is a conflict in the church, go and find out what they're fighting about. And that will tell you the state of holiness of people in that church, whether they are holy people or whether they are just sinners and people who are not true Christians, just using the church rather than allowing the church to mold them. So when you check what people are fighting for, you can know what is important to them, what are the values that matter to them. Unfortunately, in our country, it is not those values that Jesus embodied that we fight for, is it? What values did Jesus embody that he was trying to teach his disciples, and that I think that each and every one of us can take away from this reflection? Number one, Jesus was a servant leader. He said the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve. Second point, Jesus was prepared to die, and he died for the sake of those he came to serve. So a leader should be ready to die. It's not about what is in it for me, but what is in it for my people. Our problem in Nigeria and in many parts of the world is that our leaders do not wish to die for us. Rather, they want people to die for them. They don't care that people are starving. Many people are dying today in Nigeria because of the kind of politics we have in the country. And the leaders do not care. The third, Jesus, as leader, defended his followers publicly. When they were squabbling, Jesus did not condemn them in the Capernaum. The gospel says he took them aside and corrected them. He defended his people. A leader must always defend your followers. But our leaders, we are the ones who defend them. They want to be protected rather than protecting those that have voted them into power. And Jesus teaches us the power of forgiveness For even though his disciples misunderstood him, even though they were confused about the mission, he forgave them and he continued working with them until he brought them to a place where they became comfortable. And after Jesus was gone, these were the ones who went about defending that message and passed on that message for over 2,000 years. So Jesus left a great legacy of love, of selfless service, of forgiveness, of teaching, of defending and protecting the people, and of giving it all away. May we pray that our leaders and our politicians may begin to follow the good steps of Jesus and give their lives away for the sake of the people they lead. That is the true measure of leadership.
You're welcome back from that awesome time of reflection. I believe you received a great inspiration. Please do the needful with what you have heard. All right, I am going to be discussing something very wonderful today, and it has to do with our daily affairs. Dealing with or managing stress, however you want to look at it. Okay? Stress is simply defined as a constraining force or influence. This definition by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary is very comprehensive in view because it deals with a lot of contexts. But because of our conversation today, we will pitch on one context as it concerns our body. Okay? And to that I say it is the deformation caused in the body by such forces. A physical, chemical, or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension and may be a factor in disease causation. All right? I'm not a medical expert. I have a wonderful person in the studio today, and she's going to be helping us to, throw some light and give us a great insight on this very topic. So I have with me a very strong and awesome medical officer with the Niger Foundation, Enugu. Friends, help me make welcome Dr. Cynthia Ndidiamaka Onukuba. You're welcome to Gospel Lounge.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And you're looking very great today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to say I'm shy.
Ah, you can't be shy. All right. Stress is a serious matter.
Okay.
Right now, a lot of people are going through a lot of things, and there are many things to talk about it, but I just want us to have a line so that we can help our people out there that are listening to us to know what they need to know about stress and how to manage these things. So how would you lead us into this, just in your own words? Stress.
Okay. Thank you for the question. First of all, I'll start by trying to define, or will I say explain, what stress means. Stress, I would say, is a physiological and also a psychological response to a perceived challenges or threats.
Okay.
Yeah. It can arise from two factors, from external factor or internal factor.
Okay.
External factor could be pressure, work pressure, or personal issues.
Okay.
While internal factor can be as a result of anxiety, can be as a result of fear, can be as a result of anger, and so on.
Okay.
And I think in my own, I will classify, or let's say I will divide stress into 3 types.
Okay, 3?
Yeah. Based on my own understanding of stress.
Yeah.
We have acute stress.
Okay.
We have chronic stress. And we also have episodic stress.
Okay.
When we talk of acute stress, it's something that is immediate.
Okay.
Short, it takes just short period of time to occur. For instance, you are asked to, make a presentation, like give a speech or make a public presentation. Maybe you've not done that before.
Okay.
So you tend to, try to put one or two things together in order to, to present a reasonable, Of course, that will put you in some stress because you're trying to pick up one or two things to say.
Yeah.
But after that presentation, that stress is gone. So that one doesn't cause any harm.
Okay.
Yeah, just for a short while.
That's the stage fright that can
stage fright. Yes. We also have the chronic stress. That one I would say is more dangerous to health.
Okay.
Yeah, because it takes a long time. It occurs for a long period of time. For instance, you have when you are dealing with health issues, when you are dealing with finances, of course. Our country is wonderful.
Yeah, so wonderful.
So it tends to put you on many financial stress.
Yeah.
You have to think about so many things. So you talk of marriages, talk of relationships, you talk of school stress. So all those contributes to this chronic stress. So coming to episodic stress, that one occurs periodically.
Okay.
Like the one we go through in school when you are preparing for your exams. So it comes once in 3-4 months.
Okay.
Preparing an exam is not an easy task.
It's not an easy task.
Yeah. You have to, burn your midnight candle, try to cover a lot of topics.
Yeah.
As of that time, you're under stress because you are trying to catch up with something.
Yeah.
But that one tends to fade away immediately. You are
immediately the exam is gone.
But the one that affects our health is the chronic stress.
It leads me to my next question. How do you know what are the signs or the symptoms that somebody will say, this one is under stress?
We have both physical and emotional signs.
Okay.
For physical signs, we have headache.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. Headache. You talk of tiredness.
Okay.
Talk of weakness. Talk of body pains, neck pain, leg pain, back pain. And you talk of changes in like your weight loss.
Okay.
Yeah, that that you are undergoing. That's the physical one, the one that will be seen physically.
Physically.
Yes. Then when it comes to emotional, talk of depression. You talk of irritability, anger, disorganized, disoriented.
Sometimes you keep things you don't even know where.
Yes, you tends to forget things easily.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So that one affects both emotional and behavior aspects in someone. So stress can be something that can really, though stress is a normal physiological response. But when it becomes chronic, that is when it affects health, your mental and physical health.
So it can happen to anybody?
Yes. Stress can happen to anybody.
My God.
Anybody. So, and you don't need to knock at your door before you know that the stress is, you are undergoing stress.
My. Can you understand that it doesn't need to knock at your door and these things can just come in when you don't expect it? I'm going to be back after this short break to continue the conversation. All right, you're welcome back. This is still Gospel Lounge on Signature TV. I have been talking with my friend, Dr. Cynthia, and we've been discussing stress, how to manage stress, how to deal with stress. and she has been giving us very strong insights on how to get these things known and how to face them. But I want to go straight to something very strong now. Looking presently on our economic situation in the country, we are not just facing the acute stress now. It's not I'm not a medical practitioner. You said something about the epi.
We have the chronic stress.
Yes, the chronic
and
stress.
Episodic. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think our discourse now is going to center on the chronic.
Chronic, yes.
Which happens instrumental.
Yeah.
Is something that takes time.
Yeah, it takes a long
builds.
to build up.
A lot of people are on that verge right now because of the economic downturn of the nation.
Yes.
What are we supposed to do? In fact, what should be the general response of people to the situation of things right now to avoid distress? Please tell us.
Well, first of all, in order to manage stress, you first of all acknowledge that you are being stressed. You have to accept that I am stressed. And also you have to also accept that this stress that I am undergoing is having some negative impact in me.
Okay.
So once you can be able to do that, that means half of your problem is being solved.
Just to acknowledge first.
Yes, you have to acknowledge. Because there's one experience I had in the hospital the other time, with my patient, with the complaints she presented. After thorough examination, I find out that he's just undergoing stress. But she did not accept that she's undergoing stress. It was after few as in I have to explain, be taking it one by one and explain to her. That was why she now said, "Oh, is that stress?" And believe you, I did not give her any drug.
Wow.
Yes, she only took my advice. And the next week, she's on her toes.
My God.
Yeah. So most of us, we don't know that we are stressed.
I'm trying to make a case for them. Somehow, it's going to be very funny, but let me just use that instance. I have lived in a place that I don't want to call names. I've lived in a place where they don't have light for more than 50 years. So darkness became a normal thing. It's not a big deal. So the daylight came. It was like that night that Nigeria won that Olympic. The noise was shaking everywhere. So people don't really know that they are going through stress because day-to-day activity and the suffering we are seeing on a daily basis has become a part of us, and they don't give attention to things like this. So we need to acknowledge it first.
Yes, because that is why we are having an increased number of deaths. Like I think a few months ago, what we've been seeing in the hospital is slump and die.
Yeah.
Slump and die.
My God.
Somebody's in the market, next thing he or she slumps. Before they could be able to rush the person to hospital, the person is dead. The other one went to salon to make her hair. On coming back to climb the staircase, slumped. That was it.
Aye.
So the stress, it's having negative impact on us, health-wise. So we have to first of all acknowledge that I am stressed.
Yeah.
Once you can be able to do that, the half of our problem is being solved. That is it. So coming to how do we manage the stress? We have strategies by which we can manage stress.
Yeah.
We have the physical strategy, and we have the emotional strategy, and as well as the psychological strategy.
Yeah.
One of the physical strategies is what? Sleep.
Sleep.
Good sleep. Scientifically, it's advised that you have like 7 to 8 hours of good sleep.
Somebody in this country will tell you, why would you sleep that long? When things are spoiling.
Okay, if you don't sleep, will you still solve that thing that is being spoiled?
Okay.
That's the question you ask yourself. You have to sleep, because once you sleep, like one thing with stress, mechanism of stress. When you are stressed, like chronic stress, it tends to send signal to axis in the brain. That is what we call it HPA, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal gland. It will send signal to that, and it will release stress hormone, as in hormone known as there's adrenaline and cortisol. These two hormones are known as the stress hormone. So what the adrenaline does is to it will increase the heart rate, increase the blood pressure, and also release or boost energy. That's what the adrenaline hormone does. Then the cortisol hormone will increase the metabolism rate, as in of the system. You understand? So once we are stressed, all this hormone will fling into action. That's why even the cortisol hormone that is being released also encourages fat storage. That is why you see some people, when they are stressed, they tend to be fat. Even the adrenaline hormone that is being released will also increase appetite and cravings for food. Mostly cravings for junks, to be eating junks, like all this eating minerals, meat pie, buns and all that. Unhealthy foods. You understand? And what it does, stress also does it will increase the insulin resistance. Insulin helps to metabolize breakdown of glucose. It will aid it to enter the cell. But when you are stressed, the insulin resistance will be impaired, thereby preventing the glucose to enter the cell, causing the glucose to accumulate in the blood, increasing the blood level, as in the glucose level.
My God. Causing
diabetes. Then for the heart rates and for the adrenaline that will be being released, cause high blood pressure. You understand? So chronic stress is not good, because it has some health challenges. So whilst I still maintain you still need good sleep. Good sleep is not sleeping and be pressing phone, or sleeping and be answering phone. No, when you want to sleep, you off your phone and sleep. With that, it tends to regulate that stress hormone. You understand? The stress hormone will be regulated, and after, when you wake up, you find out that you are refreshed. That's why in some discussion or in some meeting, after attending, maybe having meeting, they will tell you, go home and sleep over it. Yes, because they know that once you sleep over it, you can be able to gather all those information, assimilate it, and they try to bring out points and how to solve certain issues. You understand? So sleep is very important in management of stress. Another factor is exercise. Yes. By saying exercise, it does not mean that you should start running or you should start jogging. Walk is an exercise. Me, I prefer walk. Yes.
Is it more effective than jogging?
Exercise, all of them are effective. But so that you will not give the excuse of saying, me, I'm having leg pain, I'm having back pain, I'm having this pain. You just walk. You understand? For just maybe you walk like 30 to 45 minutes, you're okay. So you sweat out, as in, and you'll be okay. With that, it tends to reduce the stress hormone. And when that stress hormone is being reduced, it releases one hormone known as endorphins. And those endorphins, they used to call it feel-good hormone.
Wow.
You understand? Yeah, feel-good hormone. Tends to, as in, it's a chemical that is being produced by the body, as in for happiness and relaxation. So after exercise, if you notice that your body is feeling light and you are unnecessarily happy.
Yeah.
So it releases that endorphin hormone that is known as feel-good hormone.
My God.
So exercise is important. Another one is nutrition.
Nutrition.
Food. That's good food. Avoid junks.
In this economy. Look. In this economy.
In this economy, yes, but at least we still have our fruits.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have our vegetables.
Wow.
Yes, but we should avoid junks now. Mineral, taking excess sugar. Yes, excess carbohydrates.
But these are the ones that are affordable.
You are not looking at the ones that are affordable. What you are looking at is the one that will be good for your health.
Oh my.
Yes, because if you are looking at the ones that are affordable, that means you are killing yourself. Yes, so you should try as much as that's money that you use and buy those junks. Put it together.
Okay.
Even if it is 1 or 2 as in good meal in a day.
Yeah.
Try and have it.
Okay.
Yes, it will help your system. That is it. Then when we talk of emotional strategy for management of the stress,
Yeah.
we talk of relaxation technique. Try and relax. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Understand? Take a deep breath. Like, it tends to reduce anxiety. Because at times, for instance, now, if one of my lecturer would say in school, when we are about to take exam, everybody will be anxious, tensed up, anxiety everywhere. He will just, once he enters the hall, he will tell everybody, oh yeah, breathe in, out. Once we do it 3 times, everywhere is calm.
Yeah.
Then can be able to do was concentrate and write that exam. Yeah. Then another one is time management.
Okay.
Prioritization of try to scale of preference.
That is prioritizing your activities for the day.
Yes. Not the one that is important and do it.
Oh my God.
That is it.
A lot of us will model up a lot of things.
That is our problem.
Finally, we don't even achieve
that
a good
is our
percentage
problem. Draw your scale of preference. Know the one that is important for you to do. In the important ones, do it. Maybe other ones, leave it for next time. That is it. Then another one is set a boundary. Know when to say no to certain things, because our problem is that we want to impress everybody.
It's a big problem. But is it not possible? Can we not please anybody?
We cannot. You cannot impress everybody.
Hi.
If you are fair, they will say, hey, this one he's fair. He's rubbing bleaching cream.
Yeah.
You are dark. This one, she is dark. Maybe he does not have money to buy cream again. So, there's nothing you will do that you ever impress anybody.
My God.
So, the things you can do, you do it. The one you cannot do, you leave it. And you don't have to, promise them, okay, maybe maybe I will still do it. Maybe give me time.
And then under pressure.
Under pressure. Learn to say no. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. And you stand on it.
My God.
That is it.
Oh my God. Can you hear all these things? Myself, I am learning a whole lot of things here, and I'm afraid that's all I can take from her because of our time. Listen, stress is real.
It's real.
And has no peculiarity to any gender or group of people it goes to. So relax yourself. Depending on how your mindset is and your response to this stress, it could be reduced to the barest minimum or escalate to worsen your health. So as you've heard the doctor say, there are a lot of things you need to do to, manage your stress, sleep very well, okay, relax yourself, watch your nutrition and all that.
And take yourself out. Relax, take yourself out. They say all work and no play. Miss Jackson, take yourself out. Go out with friends. I don't mean colleague. Friends. So that you discuss as in, so outside your profession, like if I want to go out, I don't go out with my fellow medical doctors. I go out with people that are not medical doctors because I don't want to be discussing anything pertaining patient clinic. Yes, because I'm coming out from stress. I'm entering into another discussion that's pertaining. No. I need to free my mind. Discuss what is slow with friends. Catch up, take a fresh air. And finally, know where you need a therapist.
That's another angle. That's another angle that's very important.
Know where you need a therapist. Because after doing all these things I just mentioned, and you find out that it's not working for you, my dear, you need a therapist before it gets out of hand.
When you apply all these things and it is not working, please look for a therapist. Manage your emotions well, engage some exercises, create or reschedule, and make rest a top priority as to maintain soundness of mind. Also eat well, you heard that? Don't say things are hard. That one you have, please manage it very well. It's not a must that you eat 3 times every day. If it is once, if it is twice, make it worthwhile. Many thanks to you, Dr. Cynthia, for availing yourself to the show today. It's been an insightful conversation. Thank you so much. From all of us here in Signature TV, we wish you well. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And to my wonderful audience, thank you for being there always. Please follow us on all our social media handles showing on your screen. Keep it locked there. I'll be with you shortly. Welcome back. This is still Gospel Lounge on Signature TV. I have another guest in the studio that will be helping us to discuss a great topic of importance, especially in our daily life and personal growth. This discipline has proven over the years to be relevant, significant, especially as it concerns our development both as persons or as a nation, right? So we'll be talking about the discipline called study, right? It's a state of contemplation, application of mental faculties to the acquisition of knowledge, right? That's what study is all about. And if you go further, is a careful or extended consideration, careful examination or analysis of a phenomenon, development or question. So just giving your time to finding out something from a particular discipline. All right. A lot of authorities have opined several renderings as regard the discipline study. However, the purpose of this discourse would be to review the discipline for what it is, the visibility of the practice in our immediate environment, and how to make it a priority as regards personal or group development for a better society. All right? And to discuss this topic with me, I have in the studio a scholar with great training within and outside the nation, a certified teacher within the secular and the sacred, a man passionate about self-development, both for young people and those in leadership circles. Friends, help me make welcome Dr. Jackson Onwudiwe to Gospel Lounge. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming today.
Thank you so much.
As always, you're looking very, very beautiful. I know you're a man, just.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you very much.
A lot has been said about this topic, study. But I want you to lead us into this very discussion by, giving us your own assessment of what study is all about.
Well, just like you said, study is, in fact, is an intentional act.
Okay.
Yes, that's the key word. It's an intentional act to acquire knowledge. Yes, it's not something you do by accident. You must be intentional. That's why it's called study. It's different from reading.
Okay.
So study is a deeper dimension to reading, where you go deep down to understand, then articulate thoughts. Of course, the essence is to help someone to make better decisions and have better outcomes.
Yeah.
So it's a very strong area that we need to look into in
And
society.
then this discipline, can you really agree, or is it really active in our environment today?
Yes and no, because if you look at the society, there are those that are involved in study, so it's active, but to some sects it's not active. A lot of persons are not involved in deep study. So yes and no should be my answer.
All right, giving you a red pen to mark as a teacher now, what will be the rate over 10?
That's a very hard one to do. Well, looking at the state of the nation, what is happening, both gospel and secular,
Yeah.
I would say I'll give it 50-50.
50-50.
Yes, that's because there are those who are still blazing the trail,
Yeah.
but there are those that are lagging behind that need to catch up. So
Okay. I'm trying to find a place within this 50-50, because trying to make a case of one individual that I saw over a video clip, trying to make a presentation. That person is supposed to be a graduate, and then I was disappointed. There's no substance in what she was trying to present, and then the question I'm asking myself, and this person went through our institution. So what could be the problem? Okay, let me add this one. What can study do to a person or a society?
Oh, well, like we said, it's something intentional, very, very intentional. The first thing that study does to an individual is to empower the person mentally. That's the very first thing, mental empowerment, which I can also call mental wealth.
Okay.
Yes, that's where someone is empowered mentally. Now, what does it do? It helps you to have a balanced view to issues.
Okay.
You must have a balanced approach. Of course, the essence is to help us make decisions. So most people cannot make informed decisions because they're not well informed. So to an individual, primarily, you must be empowered mentally. Because it could be said when you meet a person, you can assess the person from the wristwatch, the clothing, the shoes, but mentally you may not be able to say what a person is worth.
True.
So mental empowerment, that's the first thing. Secondly, which is very critical, is mental toughness and deep thinking. You know, a lot of persons don't develop problem solving skills. But in the place of study, you develop what is called mental toughness, ability to process through and come up with solutions, because the world is filled with problems.
Yeah.
So what we need is solution, but it takes someone who is mentally tough to go into the place of deep thinking, critical analysis, to be able to come up with answers. So these are two. Another area we can talk about is also economic development. It impacts in the development of economy.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the society, those that are making ways, maybe the high earning class, they are well read.
Yeah.
So it could help reduce poverty in the society. So study has so much to do in a personal development, in someone's personal life. Yes. So
And before we go on a short break, you said something about even in the society.
the society, for the society,
Yeah.
it helps the person become aware of the society, social awareness, societal awareness. We must be aware of the society.
Yeah.
We can't contribute as responsible citizens if you're not aware of what is happening in our society.
And this awareness can be gotten through study.
Yes.
I have a problem on this angle that I wanted to throw a little light on before we go on this short break.
Okay.
As it concerns Nigeria as a nation now, we are not politicians, but we're just trying to look at some things now. With the policies that we have seen in government and all these things, I am of the opinion that I don't think these people have actually studied where we call this nation Nigeria. And it's not about the books now. You study both the books, the people, the times, the events, and every other thing. I don't know if you agree with me, or maybe you have a different opinion of this thing I'm trying to establish, that I don't think our leaders have actually studied the nation to know exactly what to do with our policies.
Okay. Of course, you know that nations are made up of individuals.
Yeah.
So one major thing that is lacking, we could see, is that, of course, if we go into this study, we look at impact a nation is human capacity development.
Okay.
Yes. So, and because most of the personnel are not informed, it impacts negatively on policy making. Because one thing that policy making does is to help to sustain development. You can't sustain development without policies
Yeah.
that will be put in place.
Yeah.
Another thing that we're also lacking, because study will also drive into the place of research.
Yeah.
Yes, set up fine, because creativity, innovation is based on study. So our nation is actually not driving. If you look at the global scene, we are not actually matching up the way Nigeria should.
Yeah.
Because we can't play globally.
No way.
Yes, in the global, we can't really play because we lack that system. Of course, just take, for instance, the vehicles that are being produced, Toyota. What we have today is different from what we had in the 70s.
True.
That's based on research. So study has a way of helping in nation building. Any nation that will be built must lay strong emphasis on the study schemes of this nation.
Wow, very wonderful conversation. Insights are coming up, and we're going to continue this conversation after this short break. All right, you're welcome back. This is still Gospel Lounge on Signature TV, and I have been talking with my friend, Dr. Jackson Onwudiwe, discussing study. It's a vast thing, and we're trying to look at it from several angles. It doesn't matter the sphere of life that you are representing. Study is very, very important. And before we went on the short break, Doc, you were saying something about our nation competing globally. And is a show of incompetence. I want to use the word incompetence because there are certain things we are not looking at, certain things that are not in play already. So going forward, what would be your suggestion or the remedy to this so that we can, do better?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. As you know that like we said, no nation can actually develop without emphasis on study. The very first thing that I believe we should do is to strengthen our educational system.
Okay.
if we don't strengthen, of course, our educational system must thank the people there. They have done so much, but we need to strengthen the system. How do we do it? The first one we must do is to change our curriculum.
Okay.
We must revamp the curriculum. Some of the things we are studying now are things that were relevant in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s. They're not relevant now. So we must go back and revamp the curriculum, look at it holistically and change it. Now we look at the trainers.
Okay.
We must develop a train the trainer scheme.
Okay.
Very, very key. If we must see this impact of study in our nation. Then thirdly, one of the things we must do to strengthen the educational system is to do what I call a proper assessment of the products that the systems throw out into society.
Okay.
Yes, and they must be very transparent. System should be evaluated. What are the products you are bringing in? What is the quality of those products?
Yeah.
So we must look at those things. That's one way we can actually remedy this situation. Another key area is to set up research-based institutes. We don't have many of them. We don't have research-based institutions that focuses on innovation, focuses on creating, look at what is in existence and then finding ways to make it better. So we must look at research-based institutes and set them up. Then we also look at the way we select our leaders. In fact, most leadership selection is not based on merit.
True.
Because if we have a merit-based leadership selection, we have competent hands in places of learning. So most of those things come by, I know you, you know me, my brother is there, my sister. In fact, that's what we talk about, lack of governance. We don't have competent leaders that there. So we need to go back to the system of selecting merit-based leaders for positions in the society. Then we can also look at ways to this is what I call training the leaders, because when leaders get into places of things, they don't go back to train themselves. They feel they've arrived. So there must be a structure to make sure that leaders are trained to sustain impact. So
it's a progressive
thing. We don't just get to the point where we say, okay, because you're a leader, no more learning. No. No. So we must develop that system to make sure that leaders are trained. And then lastly, I might also talk about what I call policy, sustainable policies. We must make policies that will check the systems. Because, okay, let's take for instance Nigeria as our country. One of the things that study does, you can look at our institutions, the universities. Take for instance, when people come into universities and institutes, you find out that tribal sentiments are not there.
Okay.
Ethnic, nobody cares to know where you're coming from
at all.
So we find that it breeds unity and harmony. So that's one of the things study can do to enhance harmony. So we must remedy the society by doing, trying to set up an inclusive system, policies that will ensure that people are put into a place to learn.
I agree with you. I agree with you totally, because you see, if these things are not harnessed, we are not going to have a better society. A lot of us will be thinking, in fact, what I'm getting from what you are telling is total reorientation
of the mindset
of the people.
Yes.
And I want to take this thing further now, because I want every one of us to be involved in this.
Okay.
The religious organization. Is this also important in the religious sector?
Of course, very, very important. The religious sector plays a major role in shaping the culture of the society.
Okay.
Of course, most persons belong to a sect, so it's a very, very important aspect. And when we have half-baked religious leaders that are not balanced in their approach to views, we give out half-baked meal to our people. And when the people are malnourished, definitely we don't expect the best output from them.
That's right.
So they would rather be malnourished, and the malnourished person cannot function to the full capacity. So the religious organization, they have a lot to do in promoting this mindset of study. Of course, if you look at the Bible, the Berean Christians, they were loved so much because whenever they are being taught, the Bible recorded that they will go back to study to find out if those things were true.
true.
So the religious bodies have so much to do. Yes.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more. This is so wonderful. But our young people today, when you talk about studies, they ask you questions like, who study help? You know, they are on this fast lane. Everybody wants to get money. Everybody wants to get it quick and all that. And you see that we have a decadence in the production or the graduating students that we have today. You see that even the projects that we do in school these days, if we bring meticulous measures to it, you see that a lot of them just did copy and paste. What you have said something about revamping the educational sector. I want you to advise our young people that study has a great role to play in their lives, even as young people and moving forward, please.
Okay, to the young persons, of course, one of the things that affects most young persons is lack of vision.
Okay.
Yes, critically, most young persons don't know what they want. So the first thing that we must try to let every young person is to have an academic vision. Because when we talk about vision, most times we look at, but there must be something called academic vision. Where do you want to see yourself? Yes, you must have an academic vision. It's one of the things our young persons must be encouraged to develop. Have you well written out an academic vision? Because if that is not there, they will not see the need to study. That's primarily one of the things we must do. And then, you know, the society have actually, with what you see happening, a lot of persons will tell you that after reading there is nothing. So of course, we've not actually encouraged our young persons, so we must take the responsibility.
Yeah.
But then they must be taught practically to develop a lifelong learning culture. Learning should be part of life. It should be integrated into your life affairs. Of course, if you're not learning, you start dying, as it's been said.
True.
So a young person should be. Now, one thing that affects a young person is this gets rich, quick mindset. They just want to hit it immediately and then get out of this. It's money. That's because you see the non-educated, in quotes, having the means. So we must let our people that it's not just the end that justify the means.
Yes.
That's one language that is making young persons to just go into things.
That's right.
The means justifies the end. The means must be right. So they should learn that process of growth. Lifelong, they should develop that lifelong learning. And very critical is if our young persons don't get to love God, it will affect a lot of things. They want to cut corners. They want to just cut corners and get into. So our young person must learn to. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 1 says, now therefore remember your Creator in the days of your youth, when the evil days have not come, lest you say, I have no pleasure in them. They must learn to put God first. If they put these things in place, put God first, develop an academic vision, of course, as you study, a lot of things begin to unveil, then have a lifelong learning culture. A young persons can be able, we can retract them and put them back in the right place.
Wow. A lot to learn. I believe that you are also learning. My head is spinning here, but got to call you to action. Several authorities have proven that the discipline of study distinguishes people in their generation. The discipline of study develops and establishes literacy and at large discrete confidence in someone.
Of course, yes.
The discipline of study acknowledged and practiced in our society today will produce a crop of outstanding leaders capable of modeling excellence in all facets of life. A studious person is a wise person and a great asset to himself and the society he belongs to. Whatever you commit yourself to study reflects in you as a person and has the capacity to influence your immediate environment. So, feed on positive things. Develop that study mindset. You heard everything from the doc today, and it's been a very wonderful conversation. Many thanks to you, Doc, for making our time to be on Gospel Lounge again. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay blessed. And to you, my wonderful audience, I am so grateful to have you there. And that's all I have for you on the package. Follow us on all our social media handles. Until I come your way next time, my name is Victor Chief Judge. Shalom.